Good evening everyone and welcome to the final interactive session of the Blockchain Foundation program. Myself Nikhil V. Chandran, R&D engineer at Kerala Blockchain Academy. So this has been around 28 days since you started your Blockchain Foundation program, the cohort 3, and now the final few days are remaining to complete your quizzes to earn your certification. So this is intended to be a reminder for those who are enrolled for the course to complete the quizzes as soon as possible. Just a reminder about the BFP course. BFP or the Blockchain Foundation program is a free online self-paced learning program. It is covering all the blockchain fundamentals. You get 1 month free access to the course content. There are a total of 4 quizzes and you can attempt twice. So there are 2 attempts per quiz. If you pass with a minimum of 60% marks, then you get the eligibility to attempt the next quiz. Similarly, if you pass all the 4 quizzes with minimum 60% mark, you will finally get the certificate. You can post the queries on the discussion board, and you can ask us about your doubts regarding blockchain, and we will answer them in the discussion board. This cohort, that is the third cohort 3, will end on October 31st at 3 p.m. IST. So the cohort began from October 1st. Those who enrolled in September, they got access from October 1st, and the access will be revoked after 3 p.m. October 31st. So before that, you have to complete all the 4 quizzes with minimum 60% marks, and you will get a digital certificate that is issued on the blockchain after you complete all the quizzes. So those who enrolled in October, they will get access from November 1st as the November cohort. So don't worry, there are a lot of queries regarding whether you will get why you are not getting access. The access is provided cohort wise at the start of each month. So if you enroll in October month, then you will get access in November. Those who have already enrolled in October will get access to the course from November 1st. So that was the reminder about the BFP course. Now just moving on towards some of the futuristic and research oriented aspects of blockchain, what you can do after the course and so on. So before going on to the concepts of the blockchain, what is the actual hype cycle of blockchain in 2021? So as you can see, there are a lot of expectations in a lot of different subfields of blockchain. So these are all the subfields of blockchain, like stable coins or non-fungible tokens, the DeFi protocols, or blockchain interoperability. So they are all at the peak of inflated expectations right now. So they are expected to perform so well. So the expectations are very high regarding these subfields of blockchain. But there are some other technologies that have gone down in that expectation chart, like the blockchain platforms, platform as a service, then consensus mechanisms, and so on. So they are moving towards the slope of enlightenment. They are moving up the slope of enlightenment in the hype cycle, and slowly when they reach the plateau of productivity, the blockchain, these technologies will become more adopted and more mature. So this technology is under constant development, and it's under the hype cycle is going on currently, and it will take at least some time, maybe 2 to 5 years for some of the technologies to mature, and 5 to 10 years for some others, and so on. So this is the current hype cycle for blockchain, and the hype is very high for most of the technologies still, and some of the technologies are moving towards the slope of enlightenment, and that is the current scenario or the present scenario of blockchain in 2021. Now moving on to the scalability trilemma in blockchain. So blockchain trilemma or the scalability trilemma proposed by Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin states that blockchain cannot have more than 2 of these 3 features: scalability, decentralization, and security. So most of the public blockchains like Ethereum and Bitcoin, they are all decentralized and secure, but they are compromising or they are sacrificing scalability aspects. Similarly, the chains such as high transaction per second chains, like those are all mostly distributed ledgers like hyperledger based technologies or Corda based technologies. They are all having high transaction per seconds, but they are all not that much decentralized. So they are sacrificing decentralization for scalability and security. And the third criteria is multi-chain ecosystems are an example of scalable and decentralized systems which are not that much secure. So these are multi-chain ecosystems where you have private chains which are connected, different individual chains which are connected in an inter chain manner. So that kind of systems, they are not much secured because they lack that security aspects, and they are more scalable. They have more transaction per second, but they are decentralized, but they are not secure. So this is known as a scalability trilemma. So what Ethereum or the next generation of blockchains are trying to achieve is that they are trying to build solutions like Polygon or Matic network is an example that is trying to scale the existing systems and making sure that it is decentralized and secure at the same time. So there are a lot of research going into this aspect of scaling up the blockchain, making a better solution rather than the existing system. So some of the systems like you might have heard of the recent Solana blockchain or the Polkadot Algorand, or you might have heard about Ethereum solutions which are working on top of Ethereum like Polygon or Matic networks. So these are all trying to achieve the scalability trilemma. They are trying to achieve all these three features at the same time. And moving on towards some of the blockchain use cases, we can think of a lot of use cases for blockchain, like how can blockchain bank the unbanked. So I'm not going into too much detail regarding the use cases. You can read about it in detail in the course and attempt the quiz. So there are a lot of unbanked population in the world, right? So in the sub-Saharan African, almost 80% of the entire sub-Saharan African population is unbanked, and the 67% of the Middle East and 65% in Latin America are all unbanked. So there is a high proportion of 1.7 billion adults who are globally unbanked, and around 200 plus million micro, small and medium enterprises that have no access to the banking services. So something like a blockchain technology can revolutionize the existing system and make sure that these unbanked populations are having some sort of banking solutions accessible to them via a blockchain based enabled or blockchain powered solution. So that is the idea of banking the unbanked in case of blockchain. So this is just one use case of blockchain in banking. There are various other use cases like in supply chain management, the end-to-end traceability of products in supply chain management, the banking use cases of cross-border payments or banking use cases of digitizing the banks, Corda-based distributed ledgers or hyperledger based enterprise-oriented solutions. And of course, you might have heard about the DeFi's, decentralized finance and other derivative-based solutions that are already much popular these days. So the entire ecosystem is under a huge development curve, and a lot of popularity has been coming in for the recent times towards cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology as well. So most of the financial institutions and most of the enterprises are interested in blockchain technology or are currently actively researching blockchain technology. Now moving towards the blockchain decision path. So there is a need for a common database. There are certain questions that we can ask whether we need a blockchain or not, right? So if all the criteria are met, there is a narrow possibility of whether we should choose a blockchain or not. It's not like you have a blockchain based blockchain. You have already a blockchain. You have decided on the blockchain, and now you want to find the problem. It should not be like that. there should be a valid reason for you to use a blockchain based solution, and it is based on certain decision criteria. So this is one interesting flowchart that shares that blockchain decision path, whether blockchain is actually required or not for a particular solution. So if we need a shared common database, if the answer for that is yes, then we check for the next question, whether multiple parties are involved, whether more than one parties are involved. Maybe it should be minimum more than 4 parties involved for a blockchain based solution. Then if that is involved, then we check for the next solution. If the parties that are involved have conflicting incentives and cannot be trusted, then are they business competitors, or are they seeking some kind of invoice raising or something like that, then or are they anonymous entities. So all these need to be first checked, and if the answer for that is yes, then we check for the next question, whether the rules that are governing the participants are uniform or not, whether the rules change. Then if the rules change, then we check for the next, if the answer for that is yes, we check whether we need a immutable log of transactions that is kept by the blockchain. And if that immutable log is required, then we check whether the rules of the transaction change frequently. If they change frequently, we do not require a blockchain. If they do not change, then again we check whether the transactions are public. And finally, if the transactions are public, we use a public blockchain like Ethereum or Neo, EOS, Cardano, Solana, or anything like that. And if the transactions need not be public, it should be like some kind of private data, like data of that should be private to consortiums, or medical history data. Then we can use a permission blockchain like Hyperledger or Corda or anything like that. So if any of these answer to any of these first 6 questions are no, then actually blockchain is not required to be implemented in that use case. Only if the entire criteria is met, then the blockchain actually should be used. So actually there is very narrow criteria for which a blockchain can be used. There are very strict conditions under which a blockchain is profitable to be used. So that is known as a blockchain decision path. And finally, we come to the future of blockchain. So there are a lot of research going on into the interoperability of blockchain, how one blockchain network communicates with other, whether the blockchains are interoperable or not, the scalability aspects, whether the blockchain have real-time transactions in high volume. So this is another aspect that is being researched upon actively. Then decentralized operating systems, that is decentralized applications that work across multiple blockchains, that is another research area. Eco-friendly and secure consensus mechanisms, like moving away from the heavy mining proof of work kind of systems towards eco-friendly, environment friendly and secure consensus mechanisms, and producing a true decentralized internet of blockchain networks. So these are some of the future of the blockchain and how we try to envision the future in blockchain. Now, after this blockchain foundation program, what is the next step that you can do? You can go for the certified blockchain associate program. The blockchain foundation program will enable you to have a fundamental grip over the subject, but there are, if you want to have a much more in depth of the introductory subjects, then you need to join the CBA program. So this CBA program will help you gain access to lifetime content access, course materials, video contents will be provided, there will be online assessments, and you have discussion board access also. So this is a blockchain enabled digital course certificate that will be provided after the CBA program. So the advantage of completing a blockchain foundation program is that you get a 50% reduction for the CBA program. After you complete the blockchain foundation program, then if you apply for CBA program within 15 days after you get your certificate, then you can get a 50% reduction in the CBA program. So this is a beginner course to kickstart your blockchain journey further. After you complete your BFP program, you can join at a 50% reduction. So the next program is a free Ethereum fundamentals program. So this program is for Ethereum enthusiasts. That is a complete beginner guide to Ethereum blockchain. It will also include 1 month free access. It will be cohort wise, as similar to Blockchain Foundation program. You get free content access, the reading materials, demo videos and lab exercises. Then you have quizzes for evaluation that you will have to complete by practical means. Then you will get a blockchain enabled digital certificate. So at the end of this course, you will get certified in free Ethereum fundamentals program. This is a free course. So this registrations for the November cohort is currently ongoing. You can register for this course also. So that's all that I have to mention today regarding your blockchain fundamentals program course end date. Those who are currently having the content access in October, please make sure that you complete the quizzes before October 31st, 3 p.m. IST. So all the best for your quizzes and have a nice day. Thank you.